Hello everyone. Welcome to Module 6. I cannot believe we only have 3 more modules in this semester. It is flying by. We are moving so fast, and I'm really impressed with how hard you all are working on this. And let's see, we are in the middle of our short proposal letters, okay? And getting ready for those, doing the research for those. This is going to be a busy week. We've got the peer review and the final submission. But let's look over it. The overview here. It's just an emphasis that we are focusing on research right now. Research, finding those sources. Because if you look at the actual assignment, I'll make it bigger. So we are writing this proposal. It's an unsolicited proposal written for an employer. And that can be any, professional employer. Make sure it's a professional organization, or ASU, which might be easiest. But consider that audience. That is so key here. Consider that audience and write to their expectations. And so if you are writing to an audience of a board or a committee or a boss at ASU, let's focus on that, then that person, that organization, that institution values evidence, values credible evidence, values research. And so you are going to need to back up your ideas and back up your proposal with evidence from credible, reliable, compelling sources. Okay, or else they're not going to buy it. They're not going to buy it if you found some blog where some, Joe Bob was sitting in their grandmother's basement writing this blog and you grabbed them as evidence. That's not going to cut it for ASU or for any employer, because your ethos, your credibility as a thinker, as a critical thinker, an idea person, rides on the back of the sources that you bring in. So if you bring in unreliable sources or sources that don't meet the caliber of evidence that's expected, then that's going to undermine your whole idea. So keep that in mind. Keep your audience's expectations in mind, okay, when you're writing this letter. So if we go into our next page of this module, there's a whole lot of videos here on finding good sources, finding credible sources, using the library at ASU. And you can even find, I don't think they have anything here on internet searching, but you can find credible sources online also. You just have to be very selective, very discerning, because there's a lot of junk online. There's a lot of writing online that is unreliable, but also a lot of writing online that is meant for just bits of information and little bullet points and really surface level information that just won't cut it as evidence for a proposal. But these are fantastic videos. Look over those, and then we're going to have a discussion board where you're going to pick one of those sources that you have found, and you are going to present it to your classmates. You are going to introduce it. You're going to write a little summary and evaluate why it is credible. And in Chapter 6 has a great list of things to consider. When you're thinking about, who wrote it, always look at the author. Who wrote this article? Are they credible? Are they an expert? And why? What's the purpose? Are there any hidden agendas there? Is it current? Is it reliable? All of those things. And you will, look over everything that's expected there, and you will present your post, and then you will reply. Do not forget those replies, because your post is only worth those 6 points, and then the replies are worth an additional 4 points each. That did not make sense. Anyway, it works out. So let's look at next. We've got that really short quiz, and then we're getting into the peer review. Okay. So when you do the peer review, make sure that you ask your questions, and please, as you're offering feedback to one another, please spread the love. Okay. If you see somebody who has not received any feedback yet, please choose their article or their essay and give them feedback, so everybody gets some good ideas. Okay. Finally, we've got our final proposal, our final submission. Look over everything one last time. Look over this rubric. Use that as your final checklist. Make sure that you're incorporating everything, because this is exactly what I have been asked to measure, what I have been asked to assess. So look over that, and I think that's it for this week. Yep, then we get right into Module 7. And so, again, my office hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoons between 2 and 3. Okay, and during that time, I'm right here on the home page, and right here is my Zoom room link, and I'm sitting there with my Zoom open, and if a student signs on to Zoom, I hear a little doorbell, I invite them in, and if you are having any kind of problem finding sources or writing this up, I am there to help you. Okay, we can share our screen, we can go right into the library, we can find some sources together. I am so happy to do that. So please take advantage of that if you'd like. Okay, and let me know if you have any other questions. Other than that, have a really good week.